What's good, Commanders fans? Just wanted to talk a little bit about the top 30 visits the Washington Commanders have coming up. This is per Dan Hope and Aaron Wilson, some well-known beat reporters for the NFL. But I haven't made a video in a long time, so there's just a lot going on. Of course, I'll talk about Dan just a little bit. I'll probably give Dan 30 seconds of time about the whole swindling of tickets and whatnot, not giving the 40% of revenue to the NFL. This is all allegations, so we don't know if this is 100% true or not. Of course, they're going to do investigations. This report came about from allegations from a former employee. So, we'll see. We just got to let it play out. I'm not going to get my hopes up and say Dan is going to be forced to sell or anything like that. But when you do mess with other owners' money, that is definitely an offense that can definitely have the other owners vote or vote for you to sell. That's all I'll say. So I like I said, I don't think this is going to be the nail in the coffin for Dan. So my hopes or optimism for him being forced to sell is just not high at all. But like I said, I just had to touch on it because that's pretty big news. It's pretty big news if it is true. But let's get to these top 30 visits. They're scheduled to meet with Chris Olave, who Ron Rivera loves Chris Olave, and tight end Jalen out of Ohio State, and then tight end Jalen Wydermyer out of Texas A&M. So they're going to be meeting with, those two guys are going to be visiting the Commanders. So Chris Olave, and Ron, you listen to his interviews, he said he wants to build around Carson Wentz, he wants to build around a quarterback and get him playmakers, and he wants to build up the offensive line. That's what he's been preaching ever since he got Carson Wentz. Every interview he does, he said the same thing. He wants to get this offense better. He wants to focus on this offense, which I 100% agree with. I do not want them to draft a quarterback. I think it would be contradictory to the move of bringing in Carson Wentz. There's no point of bringing in Carson Wentz if you're paying him. There's no point in draft, or there's really no point of bringing Carson Wentz here. If you're going to draft a quarterback, I feel like you could have just brought in Teddy B. Instead of paying Carson Wentz $28 million, you could have just paid Teddy B $7 million or $8. Whatever contract Teddy B got from the Dolphins, you could have paid him that amount, or you could have paid Marcus Mariota. You could have got Tyrod Taylor and then drafted a quarterback rather than paying Carson Wentz $28 million and giving up draft picks. You could have got a bridge quarterback into Teddy B and not have to give up draft picks. But since Ron Rivera gave up that amount he gave up the draft picks, he's paying Carson Wentz. I think you need to trust in Carson Wentz and believe in him. Now, I'm still lukewarm on Carson Wentz, but I am on the team that you need to support him and build around him and get him receivers, get him another receiver, build up the offensive line, either sign another offensive lineman later on in free agency or draft another offensive lineman maybe like in the 5th round or something like that to help the team out. I could see something like that happening. But I am on team help Carson Wentz. There's nothing I can do but support Carson Wentz and root for Carson Wentz right now. The best, you don't want to treat him like the Eagles. You don't want to draft another Jalen Hurts or like a Malik Willis and do the same thing to Carson Wentz, because it's not going to work. If you draft a quarterback, it's just not going to work. But Chris Olave, I do like Chris Olave, man. He's legit, man. He's a great route runner. You saw what he did against Clemson in the national championship. You saw what he did this past season. He's put up numbers. He's a great route runner. He's a route technician. He gets open. He would be a perfect number 2 for Terry McLaurin. He would fit right in with Curtis Samuel. We would have speed all across the board. Chris Olave, he knows how to get open, has great moves, has great hands. He's just a good receiver. He's a great receiver. Ohio State, they manufacture wide receivers out there. So he's 1,000 yards waiting to happen. Now, I would pump the brakes for expectations, but he would be our second best wide receiver, I think, day one on the roster, in my opinion. But I do like Garrett Wilson. He's my top wide receiver. I like Garrett Wilson more than I do like Chris Olave. But Chris Olave might be the better route runner. But I just think Garrett Wilson is more physical out of the two. Chris Olave, he's not the most physical guy. He's a better route runner. He will run right past you, but Garrett Wilson will run right past you too. But I just think out of the two, the most physical is Chris Olave. But we got reports of Ron Rivera after his pro day, because they went to Chris Olave's pro day. They went to Ohio State's pro day, but they didn't go to some other quarterbacks' pro days. They didn't go to Malik Willis's pro day. They didn't go to some other guys' pro days, Kenny Pickett. But they did go to wide receivers that they really want. They went to their pro days. They went to Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson's pro day. Ron Rivera was there. The GMs, Marty Herney and the other Martin Mayhew, they went to some other pro days. Ron Rivera didn't go, but Ron Rivera made a point to go to the Ohio State Pro Day to talk to Chris Olave. And they said after the workout, this was reported by The Athletic, that Ron Rivera made a beeline and just walked straight to Chris Olave because he really, really wanted to talk to him. So there's strong interest there. Jalen Wydermyer, this shows that they are looking to add at the tight end position. Logan Thomas, he's reportedly supposed to be back day one of the regular season. But Sammy Reyes, he's still developing. John Bates is good, but he's more like a 2 or number 3. And then Ricky Seals-Jones left. So they do need another tight end, in my opinion, just to have some more depth at the position. Another receiving threat, Jalen Wydermyer, he's a receiving tight end. He's a move tight end. He's a guy that can catch the football. Now, he did have a couple drops this year, which definitely are concerning. But you look at his previous years, he put up numbers. Him and Kellen Mond, they had a good connection. 2020, he had 46 catches for 506 yards. 2019, 32 catches for 447 yards and 6 touchdowns in 2020 and in 2019. And then in 2021, he had 4 touchdowns, 515 yards, 40 catches, 6'5", 255 pounds. So he's a big boy out of Texas A&M. So I think he would be a good number 2 to Logan Thomas. John Bates would be your number 2. And then Jalen Wydermyer would come in and take that Ricky Seals-Jones role, because Ricky Seals-Jones was more of a receiving tight end. So I think Jalen Wydermyer could come in and fit that role. We don't have a 3rd round pick, so he most likely would be our 4th round pick. I can't remember if we have a 5th round pick. We don't have a lot of picks this year, though. That's the thing. So he would probably be probably a day 3 pick, which I wouldn't be mad at the pick. Getting a tight end like Jalen Wydermyer would definitely help the roster and help this offense out. Ron Rivera really wants to focus on this offense. And I think it's time that we do pay attention to the offense, getting playmakers around, which Ron Rivera said. Because we spent so many 1st-round picks on the defense, I think it's time to spend some draft capital on this offense. I think it's time to really address this offense and just get this offense better. Let's not settle for just having Terry and Curtis and Diami, Cam Sims. Let's try to add more talent. Look at the Rams, man. Every year the Rams are getting better. Every year the Rams are trying to add talent. They're getting Allen Robinson. Then they got Odell Beckham in the middle of the year. They're not scared to go out there and get talent. I look at Sean McVay and what he's doing over there, and he's adding talent every time. Even defensively, getting Bobby Wagner. We need to be just like that. Now, I know people got to want to come here, but, let's try to add talent where we can, in my opinion, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Now, they have reportedly met with Chad Muma and Troy Anderson, 2 linebackers that could definitely help, 2 mid-round guys. I think Chad Muma is going to go in the 2nd round. I think Troy Anderson, there's a lot of smoke of him going in the 2nd round, maybe in the 3rd. Troy Anderson is just super athletic, played quarterback at Montana State, I think he played tight end at Montana State. He was just super versatile, had a lot of position flex, which is what Ron Rivera is looking for. 36-inch vertical, ran a 4.40 40-yard dash. He can play middle linebacker, can play all over the field, sideline to sideline. So he's what Ron Rivera is really, really looking for. Can play special teams too. So Troy Anderson and he can cover. He can drive back in coverage. He can cover slot guys. They had him covering wide receivers, other running backs, all that. You just name it all. He just had position flex. So I think he would be, if they pick him in the 2nd round, I wouldn't be surprised at that at all. Chad Muma, he's a 3-down linebacker as well, can play middle linebacker as well at a Wyoming. Tackling machine, had 148 tackles, was a tackling machine. He can cover as well. So keep your eye on those 2 linebackers in the 2nd round. Maybe get a wide receiver. Had 142 tackles, not 148, but 142 tackles out of Wyoming. So keep your eyes on those guys. But that's about it for the 30 visits. Top 30 visits that we know of right now. I will be on DMV Sports Zone's channel tonight with Louis T. So I'm gonna put his link down below. I'm gonna definitely put the link in the in my community tab as well as at 6:30. So we will be going live talking Commanders football. And then of course there's some smoke about people hitting up, trying to inquire about Terry McLaurin. I would never trade Terry McLaurin right now. We got to pay the man. We got to get him paid. No, Tyreek Hill got crazy money. Devontae Adams got crazy money. But I'm thinking about $23 million for Terry McLaurin. I think that's what you got to give him. If not, then we're going to enter into franchise tag territory. But I would not trade Terry McLaurin at all. I think that would be a silly move to trade Terry McLaurin. But like I said, I like Chris Olave. I'd rather go with Garrett Wilson out of the 2. But Chris Olave would definitely help. He would take the top off the defense. And we need a number 2 guy to help Terry McLaurin out. We need a number 2 to take the attention off of him. So when we play other teams like the Cowboys, they don't just pay all the attention and bracket over Terry. You're going to have to pay attention to the other guy on the other side of the field, Chris Olave. Yes, I have seen workout videos of Curtis Samuel. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to get too crazy just because I saw him running down the field. Got a long way to go. Hopefully he's ready week 1. All right, you guys. Hail to the Commanders. Peace.